Welcome back, those of you still with us. I have been on holiday abroad and therefore unable to make a video before now. From July 7th to July 13th, 254 people were killed by firearms across the United States. 214 of them victims, 40 suspects. Another 480 were injured, 450 victims, and 30 suspects. That means a total of 734 individuals were shot. The state with the highest number of deaths was Texas, which recorded 33 fatalities. California followed with 23. Ohio reported 14. Among cities, Chicago once again led the nation with 36 confirmed shootings. Philadelphia reported 16. Memphis and Milwaukee both recorded 14. Baltimore, Detroit, and Indianapolis each saw 10. 4 states reported 0 shootings this week: Alaska, Montana, North Dakota, and Rhode Island. They each received this week's No Shooting Award. 9 others reported no firearm-related deaths, despite having at least one shooting: DC, Hawaii, Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Utah, and Washington. These were the quietest places in America for now. Let's go through the 10 worst shootings of the week by total fatalities. Number 10, Matthews, Virginia. An arson on July 13th in Matthews resulted in 2 deaths and 0 injuries. 2 people have since been charged with murder in what authorities are calling a murder cover-up. The victims, Chad Wayne Ashford, 54, and Audrey Elaine Hudgens Maurer, 56, were found dead inside a burned-out home. The 2 suspects, Carol Paul Cormier Jr., 33, and Lacey Ann Horsley, 18, have been arrested. Cormier is charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of use of a firearm in the commission of a murder, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and burning or destroying a residential home. Horsley has been charged with acting as an accessory after the fact in the murders and conspiracy to burn, destroy a residential home. Both suspects are being held without bond. Number 9, Montgomery, Alabama. 2 people were killed in separate but related shootings in Montgomery on July 12th. This incident resulted in 2 fatalities and no injuries. The victims were identified as Malik Benson, 27, and D. Keith Watley, 26, both of Montgomery. Benson was found on North California Street, and Watley was found on Upper Wetumpka Road, with both locations about 5 minutes from downtown. Police believe the 2 shootings were connected and have opened a homicide investigation. Number 8, Rocky Mount, North Carolina. 3 separate shootings between Saturday night and Sunday morning left 2 people dead and 2 more injured. The first involved 29-year-old Justin Cantress, who was grazed by a bullet outside of Buffalo Wild Wings. Hours later, 19-year-old Ryo Steele and 20-year-old Laren Dickens were shot and killed at a park on Virginia Street. Police later charged 3 men with first-degree murder in connection to their deaths. Minutes after that shooting, 20-year-old Reggie Joyner was shot in the back during a road rage dispute after a brief argument. The suspect, 26-year-old Daquan Johnson, turned himself in and was released on bond. Steele had just graduated high school and was training as an electrician. His parents say they still don't know why he was killed. Number 7, Clute, Texas. On Monday, July 7th, a 15-year-old boy opened fire on his co-workers during a lunch break in Clute, Texas. The crew of 5 landscapers had stopped near Dixie Drive when the teen suddenly pulled a handgun and began shooting. 2 men were killed, and a third was injured but survived. A 4th co-worker ran while the teen chased him, continuing to fire, but that man escaped unharmed. Police arrested the suspect just 11 minutes after the first 911 call. Investigators say the teen may have been experiencing a mental breakdown. All victims were adults and worked for a Houston-based landscaping company. The teen is now in juvenile detention, facing multiple felony charges. No motive has been released. Number 6, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Just after midnight on Saturday, July 13th, gunfire broke out in Milwaukee's downtown entertainment district near Water Street. 2 men, 52-year-old Antoine Tweezy Hogans and 39-year-old Kevin Bubbs Lewis, were killed. 3 others, ages 30, 32, and 34, were hospitalized with gunshot wounds but are expected to survive. The shooting happened in the heart of a busy nightlife area and sent bar patrons fleeing. Local business owners say it's part of a growing pattern of violence and are calling for a stronger police presence. One bar owner said they were at full capacity when the shots were fired and customers ran out. A friend of one of the victims told reporters, "Ain't no more fighting now. They're just shooting. Bullets don't have a name." On Monday, police arrested a 24-year-old man in connection to the case. The investigation is ongoing. Number 5, Middleton, Wisconsin. On the night of Monday, July 8th, 25-year-old James Pabst shot and killed his parents at their home in Middleton, Wisconsin. The victims were 64-year-old David Pabst, a longtime director with the Wisconsin State Patrol, and his wife, Teresa, a special education teacher. Investigators say James used a handgun he had legally purchased. After the shooting, he fled the scene and was tracked to Vernon County the next day. Around 4 p.m., officers located his car and attempted a traffic stop. James pulled over, but never responded to commands. When police approached the vehicle, they found him dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. David Pabst had served in law enforcement for nearly 4 decades. No motive for the killings has been released. Number 4, Lexington, Kentucky. On Sunday, July 14th, 47-year-old Guy House shot and killed 2 women outside Richmond Road Baptist Church in Lexington, Kentucky. The victims were 72-year-old Beverly Gum and 34-year-old Christina Combs. 2 men were also injured, along with a Kentucky State Police trooper who was shot earlier during a traffic stop near Bluegrass Airport. The incident began around 11:30 a.m. when House's vehicle was flagged by a license plate reader. After shooting the trooper, he fled, carjacked a vehicle, and drove 16 miles to the church, where he opened fire again. House was shot and killed by police shortly before 1 p.m. Officials say the motive is unknown. The officers involved have been placed on administrative leave, while the investigation continues. Local leaders called the attack shocking and senseless. Number 3, Concord Township, Ohio. Late Wednesday night, July 10th, 3 people were found dead in Highland County, Ohio, in what authorities believe was a murder-suicide. Deputies responded to a home on Wildcat Road at 11:30 p.m., where they discovered the bodies of Beverly and John Warner, an elderly couple. A short time later, a third body was found on Garvey Road, identified as 59-year-old John Gillespie. Investigators say Gillespie shot his in-laws before taking his own life. The sheriff's office confirmed there is no ongoing threat and no suspect is being sought. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation is assisting with the case. Autopsies are being handled in Montgomery County. No motive has been released. The investigation is ongoing. Number 2, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Just before 1 a.m. on Monday, July 8th, gunfire erupted on South Edding Street in Philadelphia's Grays Ferry neighborhood. 3 people were killed, 23-year-old Zahir Wiley, 19-year-old Jason Reese, and 24-year-old Azir Harris. 9 others were injured, including 3 juveniles. One victim, a 19-year-old male, remains in critical condition after sustaining 2 gunshot wounds to the head. Police recovered nearly 140 shell casings and believe a modified automatic weapon was used. Surveillance footage shows 3 masked suspects, all still at large. Officers had responded to the same block earlier in the weekend for unrelated incidents. This was one of multiple shootings in the city over the 4th of July weekend. Local leaders called the violence devastating and say it has left the community shaken. Number 1, Cassia and Minidoka counties, Idaho. On Tuesday, July 9th, 4 people were killed in separate but connected shootings across Cassia and Minidoka counties in Idaho. The suspect, 56-year-old Benjamin Roy Naylor, has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder. The first victim, an unidentified woman, was found dead in a home in Rupert around 3:30 p.m., with doorbell footage later showing Naylor entering and leaving the house. Hours later, deputies in Burley responded to a second scene and discovered 66-year-old Kelly Jenks and his wife Donna, 62, both shot in the head. A fundraiser describes the Jenks as loving grandparents and says they leave behind a daughter, her husband, and their infant granddaughter. A 4th victim, found dead in a vehicle behind a cafe in Hayburn, has not been identified. Naylor was arrested the same night after a traffic stop near Shoshone. He was carrying a handgun and wearing the same clothes seen in surveillance footage. He's being held without bond and could face the death penalty if convicted. Investigators have not released a motive. Right now, we are surrounded by future killers, and without pre-crime tech or psychic warnings, we won't know who they are until it's too late. They're not hiding in the shadows, they're at work, at the gas station, sitting in traffic. Most don't even know what they're capable of yet. But something's coming. A moment, a decision, a trigger. And when it hits, someone else won't make it home. Hopefully, it won't be you. Stay safe.